If you want to know how to go from this to this, stay tuned for the next episode of Beautiful Things. Hi, and welcome to the second episode of Beautiful Things. I'm your host, Josilyn. I'm glad that you decided to tune in with me once again for the Beautiful Things DIY show. On last week, we went through and recreated the buffet that's in my dining room, and on today, we're going to recreate the chairs that I spoke to you about, or that I shared with you that was my deceased sister's. Simple as using paint. So, as I explained earlier, my sister's no longer with us. She called me and asked if I wanted to have these chairs, and I said, okay, yeah, I'll take them. They didn't go with anything that I had, and she was generous enough to want to give them to me. And so, as I mentioned on last week, I was super grateful that I did take the opportunity to receive those chairs, because now it is something that I'll pass on to my daughter. If you didn't get a chance to see episode 1, where I recreated the buffet that's in the dining room, please do go back to Joss TV Network at jocelyndrake.com, and you can pull up episode 1 where you can see that transformation. So let's get right into it as I begin to transform the chairs in this dining room. Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Beautiful Things. I am Josilyn Drake. I'm super excited that you've tuned in to join in with me on this journey of recreating, redesigning, repurposing my home. I'm starting in my dining room, and so if you've seen previous episodes, you've kind of gotten the gist of what I've been doing. I think I've shared one of my chairs, I've shared the buffet, and on today I'm going to share another chair and kind of give you a backdrop and a history. The furniture that I'm redesigning in my living room, I've actually had it for 20 years. Yes, 20 years. And when I purchased it, I did not purchase it with the original price tag. I actually got it from someone who was getting married and had the furniture and wanted to get rid of it because they didn't need it. And voila, perfect for me. So I got this beautiful furniture for little of nothing, and I've had it for literally 20 years. Wow. But the chairs have a different story. So the chairs that came with it, I added some chairs because my late sister, deceased sister, was changing out some furniture in her home, and she said, "Hey, you want these chairs?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll take the chairs." They didn't match anything, but I kind of coordinated where it looked together, because today you can kind of mix and match. So they were kind of mixed matched chairs with the chairs that originally came with the furniture that I've had for 20 years. And so these chairs, I have 4 different chairs. The chair that I actually showed you in a previous episode, where I was painting the back side of it the indigo color, that is one of the chairs that she gave me as well. And the chair that I'm going to show you today is also one of the chairs that was given to her. These chairs are very precious to me, and I don't ever want to get rid of them, just simply because of that. Maybe one day I'll pass them along to my daughter or her daughter or somebody in the family. But so they're very precious and valuable to us. But I'm going to show you what I've been doing, or what I'm doing to this chair. As you can see, I've already started painting it, and dry brushing is basically what I've done to it. I'm going to show you here along this line where I have not done the dry brushing to it. This chair was actually a wood, a color brown, kind of funny brownish color. And again, this whole process is really me wanting to do something different. I've had this going on for a minute, and it's uh, just something different. And I thank you for joining in with me on this journey. So we're going to get started. Basically, what I've been doing is I painted this chair in the charcoal gray that I painted the buffet that you saw. So it's the same color. And I'm taking the same white, the drizzle, the color that I told you that I had mixed at Home Depot. It was like a bright white. And they kind of put a light gray with it, and to tone it down a little bit, because I didn't want just white. So this drizzle has a gray type of color undertone with it. So I'm taking a little bit of it with my brush, and I'm going to, I love water, just kind of dampen my brush a little bit here, just that much. And I'm gonna take it and dab it on here because I don't want it to be wet, just a little damp. And then I have already like the the drizzle paint inside of my plate. And so I'll take it and kind of dab it around the plate because you don't want a lot of paint. A little goes a long way when you're dry brushing. And if I mess up, I'll show you what happens or what you can do to kind of correct that. Normally, because I'm rushing or I'm so excited to get it done, I don't take the time to make sure that all of the paint that's needed to come off is off, and I end up having to go back on it and wipe it off. And I don't want to do that today, so I'm pulling down the camera just a little bit and letting you see me go through this process. Well, it's just basically just gently wiping this brush down the chair, up and down the chair, to give it the distressed look that I am looking for. I don't want a full coverage of this drizzle paint on the chair. I just want it to be lightly undertones of the chair. So I just will go over that. You can see it, how it's coming along there. And actually, I don't want to, if I don't have to, put any water on it, honestly, which is why I wanted to make sure this time I took all of the paint off. But I'm looking here in this little spot right here where it has a little more white on it than what I would like. So hopefully you can see it. You see it's taking a totally different effect with this dry brushing, this drizzle paint on it. I'm going to go on down. See, let's readjust the video, see if I can bring you in on there with me. So I have this covered because the cushion of the chair is in that indigo color. So I'll let you see. And I didn't want it to, the gray to get mixed on it. So you can see that that's there. Pull it down a little more. Let you see my colored pants. Who knows, maybe I'll get a good design off of it. All the different paints that I've been using. So then you can see that a little really goes a long way with this. Again, I'll dab it. I think I may need to dampen my brush just a little bit. In fact, I'm just going to put a little water in the paint, on the plate rather, and just dab a little bit, and then dab the paint, and then dab it around in the paint to take some of that off. You can see it there. So I'll go over here on this side and take some of this charcoal out a little bit. I started on it, but I could use some more. Taking a little bit more of the edge off with the indigo. And also going on the inside of it. I don't know if you could see that. A little more paint there. Dabbing it off and going in. And what I've noticed as well is, I'm going to stand up for this. What I've noticed is the direction of the brush that you take your brush strokes really matter. Sometimes up and down works really good, and then other times the side to side is what's needed. But, for the chair, just up and down strokes lightly works best. So again, you know, this chair means so much to me. It is extremely valuable, not just to me, but to my family, because it belonged to my sister. So it has a totally meaning for us. And I think she would love it. It is beautiful. And she's very, the type of person, very creative in her home and coming up with different ideas and things of, you know, what she wanted done in her home. Of course, it was very beautiful. And I think she would definitely be just, she would really love what I'm doing. Like, wow, you know, I think she would just be super excited about the look that I'm taking it to. So I'm going in, let's take it down, and I'm going to adjust it so you can see. I'm going to come in on this side and just lightly bring it in. I think I may have just a little bit more white than what I want over here. But I'll come back over it, kind of smooth it out a little bit. Hopefully that works. Let's see. Let's see right here. That made it a little whiter. I don't know if you can see that spot there. Makes it darker than what I want, so, or more white than what I want. So I'll brush off with this, and now this is what I was talking about, me not taking my time. So what I'm gonna do is wipe it off, because it's, if you catch it before it dries, it's pretty easy to just wipe it off. And it smooths right in a little bit to help give you the effect that you want anyway. Let's take that off a little bit. Still look from this angle just a little more water. So I'll put a little bit more water on the napkin. Go up in here and wipe that off. Okay. And so it's over here, really. Actually, that's what I'm looking at. Camera. It's a little white than what I wanted. I was thinking it was the other side, but it's actually this side. Yeah, right there. Showing up better. Okay. So, get my brush again. I'm going to dampen my brush. This time I'll make sure that I don't have a lot of paint. Miss Anxious Woman. Slow that down a little bit, slow my roll a little bit so I have that much paint on. You kind of see that tip over there on the end. And just put it here on the paint. Now you can see it's hardly any. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, that's better. I think it's more, it's on the side, seem like. The sides are, this brush has a little more whiter than I wanted. Okay, so I know it's like my head is cut off, but I wanted you to also see get in here and get the chair so you can just hear me more so than see me. I am loving the outcome of this and can't wait to put it all together. I have a lot more things to do, a lot more pieces, area rugs, and all of that to go along with it. But we will get it done, and you will hopefully gain some wonderful ideas for your own home. Okay, I'm taking you down a little bit. This area right here, I don't know if you can tell, it still has that charcoal here. And I want to continue on. My paint has dried, so I'm going to pour a little paint, just a tad bit. This is all I have here. Just dab a little bit. So that's what's come on here. That's totally too much paint for what I'm wanting. So you basically want the paint gone for the most part. And you want to make sure it's even keeled on your brush. So, lightly see what I got here. Yeah. It looks like, let's spray my brush a little bit. Looks like, for some reason, the sides of the brush has more white than what I'm wanting. I'll see how I can even it out. So I'm going on the back side of this chair, which you can't see, but it still has the charcoal over here, so make sure I get that. Bring it all the way up. And kind of make the strokes go the same way, direction, per part of the chair. So if I did the arms with the up and down stroke, then I would want to keep that throughout. If I did it sideways, then I would want to keep that stroke for that section of the chair or the furniture to keep the same flow. Right here, you can see on the other side of it, just a little more white than what I want on this area. So I'll wipe it off. And that area as well, just a tad bit more than I'm looking for. So that's the great thing about it, is that you can go ahead and wipe off what you don't want, the excess, to give you the effect that you want. And as I have been definitely experimenting on this, what I've learned is it's always okay to go back to ground zero if what you have is not working for you. If it's not what you envision, get some paint and start on a clean slate and reconfigure what it is that you want the outcome to be through trial and error sometimes. I can't wait to actually put the seal on it to really get a little more gloss on it, so you can see how it looks now with so it takes that gray, the darkness off of the charcoal and gives me a lighter color, which is what I'm looking for. I want and to let you see what that looks like here. That's the charcoal right there on the buffet, and I don't want that darkness, that dark of a color in here, basically because I have the dark blue, so I need something to kind of lighten it up just a little bit. So here I'm super excited to be able to show you really the distinction between the charcoal and how it looks dry brushed. It was kind of hard to tell on the first clip of the other chair, but this particular piece, I realized that I had not done the part that was covered up by the napkin that was trying to protect the seat cover. And so you could see the total difference in just the chair being painted charcoal and then the distinction with the dry brushed area. So right here you get a chance to see it really done and to notice the distinction between the two. And so I'm just basically going over these areas to make the chair line up with that portion of the chair to line up with the remainder of the chair. Dry brushing, like I said, you don't put that much paint on there. It doesn't require a whole lot of paint. And also, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. As you can see, as I'm going through that area, I love the different distinctions in the chair, the carvings on the ends of the chair. It makes it stand out even more. And I love the fact when you bring the dry brushing in, it still leaves that charcoal in the cracks of the little areas so that it gives it a different effect along with the dry brushing. And in those little fine areas, you see the charcoal kind of coming through. So it pulls out and makes it noticeable, those carvings that are down at the bottom of the chair. Yeah, so I did this project, I think in September of last year. I'm just getting the opportunity to do more editing because I recorded it in different phases, and so I had lots of clips because uh, sometimes I would forget to record it so that you all can see exactly what I was doing. As you can see with the chairs, when I first brought them on, they were already painted. I had already began to dry brush, and so um, along with all these different clips, having to put them all together so that I could get you a quality video so you can really see what's being done and what's possible in your own home. And so, like I said, it was done in September, and I love it. I love it. It was very, it helps me to decompress because I love seeing new things. Look at the feather in my hair. I was going by any means necessary. I just wanted to get it done. That's pretty funny. So going on through there, and I really enjoyed the outcome. Looking back, would I have painted so much in that the indigo blue? Maybe I would have just did an accent wall with it since the chairs were already blue, but I love it. I love it so much in my home. And it's a bold move, so hopefully you all will help you to to rise to the occasion with some bold things as well. That feather in my hair is pretty funny. So I am just going through to finish up on the chair. Um, it's kind of hard to get me and the chair in the video at the same time because of the positions when you go further down on the chair, adjusting the camera and allowing you to see what I'm doing at the same time. I think you probably get a gist of it now, of just taking a little bit of the paint, you don't need much, and then just lightly wiping it across whatever furniture that you're doing that or you want that effect. Yeah, so everyone who has seen it, who's been to my home since September, or well, I think I finished it maybe around, it had to be November. So I may have started this in August. It took me a minute because, of course, you got life. And so let this be a lesson to you. Just put it on the calendar. Start. You may not finish to 2 or 3 months down the road with it, but it will get done. So just start the project, enjoy it, take the time, learn, try new things. It's very fun. As I said, if you make mistakes, the thing about paint is you can just go to ground zero. If I didn't like what I was doing with the dry brush, and I would have just repainted it a solid color and come up with something new, or just left it, as is with the charcoal paint. I think the that color behind the the blue is so rich to me. I absolutely love it, and I think my sister would have loved this as well. Yeah, it was so much fun. Tiring, yeah, but fun, rewarding, absolutely. So what I'm gonna do now is just allow you to see what I'm doing, um, and that you come up with some of your own ideas. It's right about now. It seems pretty simple. Although it's always done simple when you're looking, but when you begin to do it yourself, you find the different quirks, and it's like you want to ask the question to the person that you saw it originally. Hey, how did you do that when this happened, or what would you suggest I do? And so, if that be you, what you can do is email us at the Jocelyn Drake Show at gmail.com, and we'd be glad to answer any questions that you have. And in fact, it is our goal that once COVID is over with, and however long that takes, we're going to begin to allow you to submit videos if you're within our area to see, present a home to us or present a room to us. And let's come up with some ideas and make it happen, make that happen in your own home. So we're excited about that. Also, be on the lookout for, we're going to have giveaways. So it may be artwork, it may be a vase. So please continue to tune in, and you'll get a chance to apply or win some of our giveaways on beautiful things. So stay tuned with that. So as I mentioned, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove myself from this clip, and I will come back. There's another part of the video or of the chair that will be shown. I did this again as ideas kind of came up when I finished this chair, finished dry brushing it. Uh, First of all, I painted it, the charcoal. Then when I finished dry brushing it, I wasn't, it was gorgeous, but me and my thinking, I was like, "Oh, I wonder how it would look if I did this." And so that's where the stenciling came in. And so I have a clip where I show you how I stenciled it. Very simple, but it took the chair, the look of the chair to another level. And so it will also give you ideas on some things that you can do and add. I have these stencils, as I mentioned in another video. I've had them for a couple of years now. So I didn't have to go out and buy any. But if you do need stencils, so you can either Google online and find them, or you can just go to Michael's or maybe Hobby Lobby and find the stencils of your design. Sometimes they have a lot of them. Sometimes you can just use one, and sometimes you can use a number of them to really get a different look and design, to just add other dimensions to your furnishings, to your vases, your countertops, whatever it is that you're doing in your home. You just go for it. Just be creative. Just let those creative juices just flow and run, and make you at home some beautiful things. Because I was having a conversation with someone who does design by work. It is their trade, their business, and there are statistics that your home, your decor really affects how you your mental capacity. And so you want to, if you're tired of looking at the same old thing, if you're feeling that what's going on in your home is not really helping you mentally, or if it's draining, if you just need to do some things. And as you can see, it doesn't cost much at all. Absolutely. Paint. I bought I think I mentioned this. I just bought the sample paint because I didn't need a lot of it. And that was like $4, $4, literally to come in and change a room. You're talking about saving money instead of going buy new furniture. So this is just a great idea. If you want to buy new furniture, hey, it's all of our choices. But if you want to really save money or be able to pass down some things generationally, or it's not how much you make but how much you keep, you know, go and get you some paint. If it's a big job, I think paint, a gallon of paint may cost you maybe $15. You cannot beat that. And when you're talking about paying thousands of dollars for new furniture, so hopefully that encourages you and inspires you. And so I'm just gonna uh, come out of this and just allow myself to finish painting so that you can see what I'm doing. And then when I get ready to stencil it, I'll come back in and share with you what I'm doing so that you can see it and hopefully get some ideas of what you need to do or what you would like to do. See you in a minute. Here, as I mentioned, what you will see me be doing is I have the stencil of choice. The stencil is also on my buffet at the top areas. If you remember, if you've looked at that video, you see where I stenciled, used some different stencils on the buffet, and this is one of the stencils that I'm using on the chair. I thought to myself, you know, hey, we can go a little further, and so I did. I did this. I took the stencil and put it on the chair, and you have to make sure that it's straight, and that also that it's pressed against the area that you're applying the paint. What I was coming up against is that the chair has these little edges, the grooves, and so it was hard for me to, at the ends of it, to get it to press all the way on the part that I was applying the paint. And so when you don't do that, it will cause you to have paint in other areas, and it won't be as smooth. And if that happens, you'll see what I do, as I've done earlier, is just take and put some water on a napkin, or whatever you have, a rag, or whatever, a washcloth, and just wipe it off. And you want to do it as soon as possible so that it doesn't dry. And just wipe it off really good, and you'll see that it'll come off, and your stenciling will be perfect. And so it looks like it's white paint a little further down from the stencil, but it's actually just water on the chair, and that'll dry. So be very meticulous, very gentle, and just wipe off the paint and keep it moving. And so once I finished stenciling, painting, dry brushing, and all of that, you want to seal it. Later on, you'll see me begin to seal the paint, because you don't want it to come off, and it also gives it a gloss. There are many choices that you can use when you seal. You can use seal that's clear. You can use seal that's color. That'll do something different to your furniture, or to whatever it is that you're painting. And so what I'm going to do is to add a clear sealant on the chairs to seal the paint, and also to give it a gloss. It doesn't have to be glossy if that's not the look that you are wanting, but I want it to have a gloss on the chair. And so in this clip, what you will see I'm doing is I'm showing you the sealant that I'm using, and just begin to use your brush and just go over the entire chair with the sealant. And you may want to do it more than one time if you think that it's not enough. And as you can see how now the gloss is shining through, it's bringing out the dry brush even more. It's making the chair just really pretty, very beautiful thing you can piece of work that is arising out of it. And so, like I said, just take it all the way throughout the chair, or throughout whatever it is you're painting. It doesn't take a lot of it either, just a little goes a long way. As you can see, I haven't put my brush back into the sealant yet, and I've covered quite a bit of the chair, so it's quite a little goes, like I said, a long way. And you can definitely see the difference from what I've painted and what has not been painted. It really adds another layer, another dimension. It really brings the chair out, makes it pop. It makes it look very polished and professional. That's what it does. It makes it look very professionally done. So I'm just gonna scoot on out, and you can continue to watch and see the finished product. And again, like I said, I hope that it inspires you to do some things in your own home uh, to make some beautiful things. Then I'm considering my top here, as you can see on the table, is the same top that's on the buffet, and I'm considering a white, even maybe even this color, the drizzle that I've been dry brushing the color with. That may be my go-to. We'll see. I'll test it and see how that works. But this is the episode today of Beautiful Things. Again, hopefully it helps you, gives you some insight, gives you some ideas to start some things at your own home, and refresh to make some beautiful things. Thank you again for joining me. I am appreciative of your time. And I want you to continue with me on this journey so that you can see the great reveal. Again, I can't say it enough. I am so excited about it. I can't wait to get to that place where it is all done. So right now, as you're looking, you're seeing all this tan and brown going on. Then now you're seeing some gray and blue being introduced. So it's kind of all over the place at the moment. But pretty soon, real soon, you will see all of it come together little by little. So stay tuned and see the end product. Have a great day.